For today's practice, the only prop you will actually need is a broomstick. And the first exercise we're going to do, I'm just going to start walking on the stick. Just slowly and gently. Just exposing my feet first to the movement, and then gradually I can start adding a little bit of more weight. And then once you get to those points where the arches are, if there's any sticky area, then it's a good idea to spend some time there a little bit. And then as I'm walking all the way back, once I reach that area where the stick is under my toes, just gonna start spreading my toes and then wrapping them all the way around, almost like I'm trying to pick up that stick, and then release, and then again, and then maybe one more time. Let's just walk slowly all the way forward. Interesting information that our feet are the base of our core. So how your feet are feeling can give you a lot of feedback already. And then I'm going to stand in the opposite way. I'm going to stand horizontally. And then I'm trying to imagine this stick as if it was like a rope. And then see if I can find balance, balancing on one leg. Maybe I can move my hip around, maybe not. And then switching sides. Just investigating, exploring. See what's available today. And then picking that stick up. And now let's come up into a tall standing position. And I'm placing my stick behind my back. And I'm aiming to find my sacrum bone, which is that flat triangular shaped bone at the base of your spine. And then I find the area between my shoulder blades and then the back of my head. Now, a really important thing here is to check if my ribs are popping out. So if my ribs are popping out, there's tension in the lower back, so you need to push the ribs down. So these 3 points are in contact with the stick, and I keep my back flat as I start to bend my knees and hinge from the hips. And then come all the way back up, and then again. So this is technically the same as if you're folding forward in yoga, and they tell you to hinge from the hips. Let's just do 3 more. Bend into those knees generously. See if it's easy for you to keep those contact points all the way through as you're moving with the stick. And now let's just remove that stick, place it in front of you, reach the arms all the way forward, bend into the knees generously as you release the head all the way between the arms, pull the ribs in, and then start shifting the weight side to side. It's nice and easy. Roll the upper arms away from the shoulders, and then keeping the back nice and flat. Come all the way up to standing. Move the stick in front of you again. And now the same way as you had the stick behind your back, bend into the knees and start reaching all the way forward. And now just start untucking and tucking your tailbone. So just cat-cowing your lower back. Try not to move any other parts of the spine. And then eventually we're going to finish in a position when it's in between. So you're not sticking your bum out too much, but you're also not tucking under too much. You're aiming to find that middle area. And then once you found that, start coming all the way back up to standing. And now reach forward again, but this time start stirring and circling around with the hands. Reaching forward. And then switching directions. And then one more. And then just reach into it, stay there. Start walking your right hand, release it lower on the stick. Maybe you can change the position of the grip. As you reach the arms forward, push back through your left hip to get a nice stretch on the left side of your body. And then back to center, switching hands. Reaching through the right arm. Pushing your right glute all the way back to the wall as the arms are reaching all the way forward. And then slowly back to center. And then come all the way up. Reach the arms forward ahead of you. Drop the shoulders down. Imagine you're trying to break this stick into two parts. And now start bending the knees. And then reaching forward with the arms. As the arms reach forward, your bum is pulling you all the way back toward the wall. And then keep reaching the arms all the way up. Come a little higher. As you exhale all the way down, release down the crown of the head. One more time. Inhale, looking up, open the chest. Start reaching up with the arms, thinking about opposite forces. I'm pulling your arms forward and somebody's pulling your back all the way behind. And now let's just exhale, release the hands, and then start twisting just from the shoulders, keeping the pelvis leveled. And then opening with that left arm, pressing into the feet. And then driving that stick all the way up as I'm turning to the left, bending the knees. And then from here I start to twist all the way to the right again, focusing on reaching further out with the left arm as I come all the way back up. As I start to twist to the left again, bend into the knees. Come all the way down. Find that half circle to the right. Keep pressing back behind you with the left hip. As you come all the way up. And then now returning into that modified chair pose. And we're going to switch directions here, releasing the hands down. Twisting all the way to the left, reaching out with the right arm. As you pull it all the way back in. Start twisting to the right. Bend the knees. Release the hands down. And then with control, driving that stick through the left side. Finding that work on the right side. As you come all the way up. And let's just do one more. To the right, bending into the knees, releasing the arms down. And then reach it out one more last time. As you come all the way up. And then one more final time. all the way down. Place the stick down, put it out to the side, and just come into a tabletop position. Try to stack your wrists under the shoulders and your knees under the hip. And then just start cat-cowing your lower back again. So it's just tucking and untucking the tail, aiming to keep the other parts of the back neutral. And then we're going to finish this movement in this untucked position when you're sticking your bum out, curling your toes under, and then just start shifting the weight back and forth. And the next time you're shifting forward, just pause, hover the knees off of the floor, press into the hands, keep your neck straight, and then let's see if we can shift forward and back with the knees hovering. Just one more. And then release. Gently start walking your hands all the way in, so your fingers are turning at you. And then slowly with control all the way out. And then again, all the way in. This time pause there for a second. Maybe shift a little bit side to side. As you return all the way back to center, and then all the way back to the other direction where your fingers are pointing at you now. And then from here, see how it feels if you bend a little bit into those elbows. Maybe shift the weight side to side. And then gently release. Start flipping over to the top of your hands. Fingertips are pointing at each other. The distance is up to you. The further you move the hands away from each other, the easier. The closer they are, the more challenging. And then focusing on the top of the hands, pressing the thumbs into the ground. Continuing with some gentle push-ups. Couple of more. And this time I'm going to roll my hands all the way up into a fist. And then I'll just start walking them back and forth, out and in, as I'm coming down to the edges of my hands, outer edges, inner edges. And then as I return back to those fists, just going to start alternating between that push-up on the top of the hand, rolling up onto the fists, walking back and forth, and then another couple of push-ups. Maybe walking the hands in fists in all kinds of awkward directions. As I return all the way back to center, fingers are pointing forward. Elbow pits are pointing forward. Shift the weight a little bit more ahead of you if it's possible. Then without bending the elbows, lift the base of your palms off of the floor. And then slowly start releasing them down. And then come up again. And then all the way down. Let's do 5 more. As slow as possible. 3, 4, and 5. Stay up and hold it. Start moving your thumbs in small circles. And then slowly for 3, release. 1, 2, and 3. Shift the weight forward, curl the toes under, And press yourself up into downward facing dog. Start bending into the knees, pedaling the feet out. And now come up all the way up on your tippy toes. Bend into the knees generously. Spiral your shoulders away from the ears as you start pressing the floor away. As you're pressing the floor away, don't let those ribs pop out. And then see it from here if those heels want to release all the way down to the ground. And then pressing into the left hand, move your right arm away from the floor. See if you can grab your shin or your ankle for a nice twist. Press into the left hand more to push the floor away. And then switch hands. Switch sides. And then walk your hands all the way forward, finding plank position. Squeeze your bum, press through the toes. Fingers are pulling to the toes, toes are pulling to the fingers. And then slowly with control, start bending your elbows and lower all the way down in one piece. Press the top of the feet into the ground. Keep the chest heavy as you hover the hands away from the floor. This could be your upper dog here today, but should you choose to push the hands all the way down and come up. And then exhale. All the way back into downward facing dog. Inhale, come forward, drop the knees down again. And then this time, keep the left toes curled under as you start to reach back with your right leg. Drop the right hip down, squeeze that right glute. Beautiful. And now release the top of the foot down. And then just start keeping the top of the foot in contact as you start circling around with your foot for a nice old-fashioned ankle squish. So I'm just going around in circles. And what I'm trying to do is to make contact with the floor with all those parts of my foot which normally don't make contact with the floor. And then switch directions. And then come all the way back to center. Lift that right leg up for a second. Flex the foot. And without changing the position of your back, let's see how it feels if we just step that right foot forward toward the right hand. And then again. Extend it back. Step it forward. Let's just do one more. Extend it back. And then step it all the way forward. Now stay here, press into that right foot, keeping that right hip really heavy. Walk your left hand in if you need to, and as you're pressing down on the right hip to keep it heavy, start twisting and opening to the right, just from the ribs. Drop the head all the way down, and then reach up with the right arm. And then come all the way down. And now start cat-cowing your lower back from here. See if there's any space in the pelvis to move here. And then next time as you're tucking your tail in and rounding your lower back, keep rounding all the way through to come into a full cat position. And then slowly initiating the movement from your lower back. Untucking the tail, and then eventually finding that extension, opening the chest, lifting your head up, look up, and let's just do one more time, starting from the lower belly, rounding all the way through, tucking the chin in, and then coming back for the last time into that extension, finding that opening of the chest. untucking the tailbone. And then from here, hovering the left knee off of the ground and stepping all the way back into downward facing dog. From downward dog, inhale, look up and start walking your feet toward your hands. Your choice if you bend the knees or you keep them straight. Drop the head all the way down, release the crown, and pressing into the feet and slowly rolling all the way up to standing. Let the shoulders and your head come up last. Inhale, reach the arms all the way up. Lift out of your pelvis, out of the rib cage. Exhale, hinge from the hips. Inhale, halfway, hands on the shins. Find a flat back. Exhale, hands down. Step the left foot back, then the right foot back for plank. Keep pulling the toes to the fingers. Keep gliding the shoulder blades away from each other. As you start bending into the elbows, don't let the head of the shoulder roll forward. And slowly come all the way down. Keep the chest heavy. Hover the hands off of the ground. Keep squeezing the shoulder blades into that retraction as you start extending the arms all the way back. And then bend. Keep the chest heavy, reach, bend. Just 2 more. Okay, stay in that extension. Reach back with the arms, reach as high as you can. Keep your chest all the way into the ground. And then just start moving the arms up and down. As high as you can. Two more. Leave it up high. Make a fist and then just start rolling your arms all the way out and then all the way in. All the way out, all the way in. Keep pressing the feet into the ground. Just 5 more. 3. Go all the way in each directions. We're going to finish in this external rotation, so the shoulders are opening. Squeeze the blades together. Bend into these elbows again. Hover, the hands are hovering off of the floor. So this could be enough for an upward dog, or pressing the hands down, coming all the way up, and then pushing all the way back into downward facing dog. Dropping back down onto the knees. Leave the right toes curled under. And then lift the left leg off of the floor as you reach back with the left leg. The foot is flexing, the glute is working, the left hip is dropping all the way down toward the floor. Beautiful. Now start pointing that foot. Press it all the way into the ground. And then slowly start circling around, squishing the top of the foot and the toes all the way into your mat. It also reminds me of like a grinding action. Okay, and then switch directions. Just a couple of more. And then come back to center, find that hover again. A nice squeeze into that left glute. And now we're going to step that left foot forward toward the left hand just a couple of times. And then all the way back. Go slow with control. Reach back, and just one more. Step it forward, and now stay there with the foot. Flat your back, press into the hands. And same thing we did on the other side, just start cat-cowing your lower back. So what we're trying to do here, we're trying to segment the spine and isolate the lumbar spine. So what I'm aiming for is that there's no movement starting from here. And then do a couple of more. And next time you start to untuck, you start to tuck in and you start to round through the lower back. Just take it all the way through for that full version of cat and cow. And then going back, finding that extension, starting the movement from the lower back, untucking the tail. Finding that extension, which is a lot harder now in this position. Opening the chest. Let's do one more. Rounding through the lower back. All the way through the back. Tucking the chin all the way in. And then one more last time. Untucking the tail, finding that extension. Looking all the way up, keeping the left hip heavy. Press into your right arm to gain a little bit of length. Your left hand is pressing into the left hip as you gently start to twist with your torso and open the chest to the left. Drop the ear to the shoulder and reach the left arm up. Keep squeezing into the left bum, keeping the left hip nice and heavy. Then curling the right toes under, hovering the right knee off of the ground. Exhaling the hands down and stepping all the way back again into downward facing dog. Inhale, look forward. You can step, hop, or walk your feet toward the top of the mat. Bend into the knees. Reach the arms forward for chair pose. Keep reaching forward with the arms. Keep your bum squeezing. And then see if we can start raising the heels all the way up, coming up onto the tippy toes. And then slowly with control all the way down. Let's do one more all the way up. And this time exhale. Folding all the way forward. Inhale, look up halfway. Flat the back, maybe move your hands to your shins if you need to. And then exhale the hands down, stepping the right foot back, then the left foot back for plank. And then from here, start staying up on your tippy toes and start twisting over to the right. And then back to center, twisting over to the left. And then one more time to the right, to the left. Right, and last time to the left. As you come all the way back to downward facing dog, inhale, lift that right leg up to the sky. Bend the knee, flex the foot, and without changing your pelvis, just start turning your knee out so your heel moves in, and then come back to center. The knee turns in. Now let's do one more each direction. All the way out. All the way in. Now stay in that inner rotation as you slowly start to circle. Just a few more. Optionally, you could get that leg straight and then circle with straight legs. And now let's just switch directions. Keeping the arms nice and straight, not letting those ribs pop out. And then find that one-legged downward dog again, where your right leg is reaching all the way up. And now look forward, and without moving your hands away from the floor, step the right foot forward. Drop the left knee down. Grab your stick. Place it all the way behind your back. just by the end of your bra line, and then push the back of the ribs and the front of the ribs all the way into that stick. You can flat the top of the foot. Let's see first if we have any freedom moving our pelvis around here. And then once you had that, just finish with your left hip pushing forward, right leg is drawing back, left glute is fired up. Hold the stick in your hand, push the ribs again in, and then slowly start to twist to the right. And then all the way back. And then again. Try not to lose the stick off of the ribs. And then just one more. Keep twisting, twisting. Place your stick down now. Go back into that twist. Maybe reach the right arm back, left arm forward. Option here, you can stay here, or you can see how it feels if you reach back. And then let's just come all the way forward. Hands come into prayer. Place your elbows outside your right knees. And then press into the hands to push the chest away from the thighs as you twist. And now see if that back knee wants to come off. Keep pressing through the left big toe. Keep opening the chest. As you shift back to center, exhale the hands down. And come all the way back into that downward facing dog. Inhale, lift your left leg up. Drop the left side of the pelvis toward the floor. The hips are squared. And as you start flexing that left foot, start bending into that knee and imagine you're dragging that left heel toward your bum. And as you do that, squeeze into the bum and start turning your knee all the way out. And then back to center and all the way in. Go all the way to the maximum range as you can, all the way out. And one last time. All the way in. Lift the knee a little bit higher and then start circling. Pressing into that right big toe. Few more before we switch directions. Optionally, you can do this with straight legs. And then switching directions. Let's just do two more. And back to center into that one-legged downward dog. Look forward. Step your left foot forward. Drop the right knee down. Grab your stick. Stick goes behind the back again. Rest it in your elbows. Find the back of the ribs pressing in. The shoulders are opening. And then first we're checking in with some pelvic movements. Could be tucking, untucking, side to side, circling. As you eventually find that position where you feel engagement on the right hip, on the right glute, and you pull back with the left heel. And now without losing the stick off of the back, just start to exhale and twist to the left. And then back to center. Again, over to the left without losing the stick. And just one more. Keep twisting, twisting. Release the prop. Reach the left arm back, right arm forward. You may choose to stay here or reach back. And then let's all come forward. Place our hands into a prayer's twist. Press into the hands. Pressing, pushing the torso away from the thigh. And then either staying here or without changing the position of the pelvis, extending that right leg all the way back. And then pivot the hands forward, hands come down, step all the way back into downward facing dog. One more last time, inhale, reach your right leg up, square your hips. As you exhale, bend the knee, shift forward. Step your right foot forward, grab your stick again, reach the stick forward, start tucking the tail under a little bit as you come all the way up into a high lunge. Keep squeezing into the glutes, reaching all the way up with the arms. As with the next exhalation, we pivot the left foot all the way out to the side and come into a warrior two. Keep grabbing into the stick. Imagine you want to break that stick into two parts. As you start to exhale, bend into the left elbow, resisting with the front arm. And reaching back for reverse warrior. One more time, returning back to center. And exhale. Reach back. Keep reaching back as you press into your front leg to get it straight. Start shifting back with the right hip. Reaching forward with the arms for a modified triangle pose for today. Open the chest a little bit more toward the ceiling. And one more last time, keep the legs straight and exhale, reverse that triangle. And then shifting all the way back forward. Bending into that right knee. Place the prop down. Step all the way back into downward facing dog. Inhale, lift your left leg up. Exhale, left foot steps forward. Reach for the stick again. You may also place your right foot a little bit more forward here to square the pelvis, to keep it more neutral. As you reach all the way up, without letting the ribs pop out, so there's length in the lower back. Keep reaching all the way up. As you exhale, start pivoting the right foot open to the side for warrior two. Lift out of your ribs, reach the arms all the way above, so your biceps is touching your ears. Bend into the front leg. As you start bending with the right elbow, resisting with the left hand to reverse. And then back to center. Pubic bone moves up. Reaching with the arms one more time. The reverse warrior. Pressing into the left big toe mount. Straightening the leg. Pushing through the left hip, moving all the way back. As you reach forward with the arms, open the chest a little bit more. One more time, let's reverse. And then pivoting all the way forward. Stick comes down. Stepping all the way back to plank. And then slowly bending the elbow. And lowering all the way down. Reach the left arm out to the side. Come up on your right fingertips. Lift the right head of the shoulder up. Your head can be resting. Lift the right leg up. And then start shifting over to the right side. Keep reaching through that right leg. Maybe that back wants to bend. Touch the floor. Maybe not. Maybe you want to grab your shin, your ankle. Just do what feels good for you here. And then when you're ready, switch sides. The right arm reaches out. Come back on the left fingertips. And then roll over. Just gotta be careful because of my microphone. So this is a really good place to investigate, just to do what feels good for you. Let your body guide you into the movement. And then back to center. One more time, let's hover the hands off of the ground. Keep pressing through the feet, pelvis is heavy. Curl the toes under, pushing all the way back into plank. And then all the way up to downward facing dog. Come all the way up onto your tippy toes. Inhale, reach your right leg up. Start bending the right knee as you cross it behind with the left ankle, almost like a curtsy squat. And then start shifting on your left toes, pivoting all the way to the right. So you're almost like arriving into a one arm side plank as you shift the weight forward. And then just come all the way down into a seated position where your legs are crossed. Keep the spine long. Sitting bones are pressing into the ground. Then start walking your right arm behind. Left hand is resting on the knee. Then just look over your right shoulder. And then switch sides. Looking over the left shoulder. Drop the chin all the way down to the chest. Grab your knees. Start rounding through the spine. And then inhale, come back on the sitting bones. Find a little bit of an extension. And then again, rounding it through. One more time. Open the chest. And then slowly release. Shoot the legs forward and start preparing for Shavasana, for our final resting pose today. If you're using any props, a bolster, or maybe a blanket under your knees, you could also roll up a towel and place it behind the back of your head. Just relax your body. Close your eyes. With every exhalation, let your body get heavy and heavier, sinking into your mat, into the ground. Going to stay here for another 5 or 6 breaths. If you have the time and you feel like you would like to spend more time here, then please do so and just turn me off at any time. After your next exhalation, keep your eyes closed. Just gently start moving your head side to side. Slowly start moving the toes and the fingers. Start gathering the knees together one by one, bringing them to the chest. Maybe giving yourself a big hug or just rocking side to side. Eventually rolling all the way over to which side you prefer, staying there for a breath. And when you're ready, with the help of your hand, come all the way up into a seated position. Sitting nice and heavy on the sitting bones. Inhale, reach the arms one more time up. Exhale the right hand down, bend the right elbow, and just lean over to that side. As you press through the right hand, left hand comes down. And then all the way back to center. Thank you so much for practicing with me today. If there's any questions or any comments, then please just feel free to comment below or shoot me a message, and I promise I'll get back to you as soon as I can. I hope you all have a lovely day, and I hope to see you soon. Thank you. Bye-bye.